it out here so everybody can join in. 1 second. All right, awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. So cool. So hope everybody had a great trading day today. And what a day today. So it was definitely Monday. It was definitely Monday. There was some okay price action today. There was a little bit of a boost in today, and that's where we're going to get into today's topic of today's favorite Elliott wave count. So really, really cool stuff. So this week, it's a short week this week, right? So Friday's a holiday. So this week we're going to be just covering. I think it'll be a cool series here. I'm going to try to find what I find is to be the coolest or my favorite Elliott wave count intraday from the day, and I think you guys will find it helpful if you guys are studying the Elliott wave. So good stuff there. And like I said, it reviews the great Elliott wave setups from intraday. So good stuff. Before we get started, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. So awesome, 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 good, good, good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look and see where we left off the market today, and then we're gonna take a look at the futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening. Then we'll go through the topic, and then we'll take questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right, so SPX down 3 points here today. A little bit of a down move overall, but generally it had some relative strength. Right, weekly chart here is that was the monthly chart. Weekly chart here is still kind of a doji, right, as we going into this short week right here. Daily chart, well, we're still kind of expecting a pullback, and why? Let's go to the lower time frames right here. So what was kind of interesting about this is that I loved how the wave 5 right here came off of the exact 618 extension, right? So if you go here, right, and you go from the wave 2 to wave 4, right? So here to here, right? I'm sorry, so wave 1 to wave 4. Here to here, right? It was right at the 618 extension. So that was pretty cool. I thought it was going to be a steeper since it was such a sharp move up. I was thinking that maybe we'd see like a steeper move down, but we really didn't see that. In fact, we passed through yesterday's high, so the wave count becomes a little bit tricky. We're still looking at this as a potential pullback because we can definitely count 5 waves up here from Friday. So we're looking at this is a possible A move. This is a B move right here. We may see a C move down going over the next couple sessions or so. If not, we're going to have to recount this thing and figure out how bullish this really is, right? It's probably, if we keep going up in this thing, it's probably basically like a 1-2-1-2 type move, and then we keep going, right? So that's the idea. We just have to see how it goes right here. But if it is the case that this is an A and this is a B, then our wave C, we'll see how it handles the 382 area right here. We had a nice congestion zone right there, and then we'll see if we go from there. So good stuff. That's a good look at the intraday price action there. So let's take a look at the S&P futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening. So we're up about 5 points here after hours, but generally we're actually kind of downish in a way. We're up from where we closed, but we're downish from where we started, right? So pretty interesting stuff. So we're above where we closed, right? We're down from where we started. So again, it gave a nice little push here at the open, a little bit of a move here to get going, and this is off the 5-minute chart. And now it's just kind of flagging here going into the day. So basically, this could turn into a triangle move here overnight. So let's just kind of keep an eye on these geometric levels and see where we end up in the morning and what we got. It's really, really choppy price action right now, so not the type of stuff I'd really like to trade here in an overnight session, right? So it's really, really choppy. But we'll see if we can get some volume breakouts out of these geometric levels here tonight, and then where we go from there. Because this triangle is only good up until like 10 o'clock. So after that, we should get a break one way or the other, unless it's completely flat for the rest of the night. So cool stuff. So that's the ES here. So good stuff. So like we said, tonight and this week we're going to be going over today's favorite Elliott wave count. And so I love this one. This is gonna be great. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna find show you guys an Elliott wave count that we found intraday today, and just show you why we liked it so much and why it was such a decent one. And it was really kind of cool because it fits all the rules. So today we're gonna look at Facebook. Okay, before we get started here with Facebook, I just want to review the rules of Elliott wave. Right. So Elliott wave, right, is basically saying that price action moves in waves. Right. So remember, an impulsive wave or emotive wave is 5 waves. Okay, so you have your wave 1 up, your wave 2 down, your wave 3 up, your wave 4 down, right, and your wave 5 up, and that is your Elliott wave, right? That is your move, right? So, and remember, this is wave 1 is also everything is fractal in Elliott wave, right? So wave 1 is made up of 5 waves up. Wave 2 is actually all corrective waves are 3 waves, right? So these are ABC type formations, different types of those, right? And then wave 5 is another impulsive wave. So here's the rules, right? So rule number 1, right? So wave 2 is not going to intersect the start of wave 1. So in other words, we're not going to have a wave 2 like this. Okay, that's going to go this way. And this is so it's not going to be like, that's not an Elliott wave, right? So it's got to stay above the start of wave 1. Okay, rule two, right? Wave 4 is not going to intersect the top of wave 1. Okay, so you can see right here, we never got to the top of wave 1 right there, the end or the end of wave 1. So there we go. So wave 4 is good. And the final rule is wave 3 is never the shortest wave. And that's where I like this one, because this one really comes into play today on this Elliott wave that we're going to take a look at right here. That wave 3 was really, really close, but not quite the shortest wave. So, but it wasn't the biggest wave. It doesn't have to be the biggest wave. It's just saying it's not the shortest wave. Okay, so let's take a look at the example here from intraday. So let's look at Facebook. Okay, so Facebook is pretty cool, right? So let's just kind of go into what was happening here intraday, right? So if we kind of look at it right here, the monthly chart is still pretty strong, right? We've got a nice green month right here. We've had a couple big pushes so far, on the weekly chart. We had a good week 2 weeks ago, and last week was kind of blah. But this week we kind of pushed above, right? We gapped over an inside day, and we held that gap over the ADMA today. So that's good. That was a bullish sign. So from there, we can look and see what happened pre-market. We pointed out some relative strength on this one here today. This is what I really like about this one. So, so really, really nice move here. So, so this is one of the great waves. So this is using the pre-market price action to count this wave. So let's take a look at it. So this is it, right? So here you go. So this is there's your wave 1 up, right? So there's your impulsive wave up. Here's your wave 2, and I love this, guys, because it gave such a beautiful intraday triangle, right? So it gave your wave 3 right here, and this is where we'll take a look at it. We'll size up that wave 3 here, and then it gave a perfect intraday triangle right here. Look, I'll show you guys. So remember, triangles are A, B, C, D, E, right? So here you go. So here's your A, and this is great. And we pointed this out on the live stream this morning as having relative strength, right? So the social media sector had relative strength today. And what do we look for with relative strength in the open? We look for like a triangle or a pause or a pullback to the ADMA, right? And then we look for a breakout out of that for another move. And just in case you miss it, it's hard to catch the very, very open, right? But it gives you a lot of times these give you an opportunity later, right? So here's your D. Right, and here's your E right at the bottom of the triangle right there. So if you guys are counting your waves here going into today, that's actually a good buying area. Remember, we talked about that in our magical triangle series, right? So really, really cool stuff there. There's your E, and then of course that's your wave 4 finish, right? And then here's your wave 5. And have a nice day, right? So that triangle is very, very nice. So, so cool stuff, right? So this gives remember, triangles only occur in waves B or wave 4. So if you see a nice triangle right there, chances are you're either in a wave B or a wave 4, right? So, so ideally, if it's and we like trading wave C's and wave and impulsive waves. Fives are pretty good too, right? So, so if it's either one of those, right, oftentimes we'll get a move, right? So, so we just have to kind of see how they play out. So, so cool stuff. So we had a little bit of action here pre-market, right? You can see it was an impulsive wave up. You can kind of count 5 waves in here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you can see an ABC pullback wave 2. But what I really like about this is if you take the count right here, if you take the lows from here, right, and you kind of pull it up to here, right, so anywhere along this way, right, you'll see that this wave was about 5.6 points, right, about 5.66 points to the upside. Okay, so what's really cool is that if you go back to the start of wave 3, right, and you draw the same line right here, you can see this right here is actually 5. I don't know if you guys can see that pop. It's 5.82 points. So technically, this is a valid wave 3, right? So it is not the shortest wave. It is really close. It's almost directly symmetrical to this move. And instead, it is not the shortest wave. But wave 5 was a bit bigger, right? So I can just show you this one. If I duplicate this wave right here, you guys can see here. If I just duplicate this wave right here, activate, there, just give me a wave. All right, there we go. And you go right here. Look at that. Wave 5 was actually the biggest wave, but that's okay. Wave 3 doesn't have to be the biggest wave. It just can't be the shortest impulsive wave, right? So wave 5 ended up working its way back up, which was pretty cool because it really was like a, if you look at it as a bull pennant, or however you like to look at it, right? It was a nice symmetrical move up here and got a little bit of extra on the upside. So good stuff. One of our members pointed this out in the group today, so I really appreciated that. That was a nice find here today. Again, it was a breakout of the triangle here. If you didn't catch the wave E move, right, there was a breakout here of the triangle here with increasing volume, and that gave us a nice upside move here to finish up wave 5. So that is what makes Facebook the favorite Elliott wave count of today. So again, guys, a nice impulsive wave up with a wave 4 triangle, and it fits all the rules for Elliott waves, so it makes for a very, very nice trade. And the cool part too is wave 4 never intersected the top of wave 1, right? So you can see that right there. So very, very cool stuff. So just a nice Elliott wave and used pre-market data. So good stuff. Hopefully you guys found that helpful. At this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we will get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So so good stuff. All right, so Dylan sent one in here through Twitter. So let's take a look at Medtronic. Yeah, so Medtronic was on my radar too. I had a really good day on Friday. Let's take a look here. I've got this down to the, that's still a 5-minute chart. Okay, cool. Yeah, I had a good day on Friday, right? Nice push right here. But what I like about this is I like the increased volume. The only thing that concerned me about Friday's move is that it didn't clear any major levels, right? So you can still see we've got this geometric line right here, and we still haven't done that yet, right? So that's really kind of one of the big concerns about it. So again, it's generally really bullish right here. So we're going to continue to keep it on the radar, but let's see if we can get above this geometric level and get going from there. So nice stuff. Really, really good find there on MDT. But yeah, generally looking bullish is over the ADMA. Good volume on Friday. I like it. So good stuff there. And Shirley sent a few in. Shirley, hope you're doing great out there. Shirley sent a few in via email. So Shirley again, ZS. This is a rough one right here. There's a couple of names that start with Z. I think Z was actually pretty rough here tonight too. But Z is basically just kind of below these geometric lines right here, and you have an upper shadow with increasing volume below the ADMA. In fact, right off of the ADMA. So this one has some potential room to get to the 200-day. So keep an eye on it for relative weakness. Good find there. CHNG. Okay, so Change Healthcare. Okay, so kind of hanging in here. This looks like an acquisition candidate. I probably wouldn't mess with this one. I know it's got a couple little moves in there, but I probably wouldn't even touch it. So we got that going on there. Let's take a look at K. Again, a lot of the consumer staple type names have been they're like the new fangs these days. I mean, these things have been super duper strong recently. I mean, Kellogg's is like, 2 huge days in a row, right? With big moves, 2-point moves, 2% moves, big push over the 200-day moving average. So let's see how it goes here for Kellogg's. I love it. I mean, you go on any, Campbell's Soup was strong today. It's incredible stuff. Right, really, really interesting. So, so Carrier Global, nice gap up here today. Nice spinning top here. Again, this is a good one to keep an eye on. Let's see how this holds right here. I like this. I do want to keep it on the gap radar. Let's take a look here. So gap, CARR. Great find on that one. Let's keep an eye on that going into tomorrow. See if it gives us a setup. So good stuff there. Again, I love it. How it didn't really give us a gap and go here today, but we talked about this kind of in the newsletter this weekend. Anybody who's a part of our group right here, I love how it just kind of held those levels right there. So keep an eye on it and see if it has any relative strength on it. But very, very nice stuff here. Again, a lot of these carrier names and shipper names have been kind of strong recently, but keep an eye on it there. And then TAP was also on our radar too. This is one of the only ones that had a increased volume strong candle today, right? So it's kind of up, sideways up. So it's pretty much done its move since its initial candle, but I think it's still worth keeping an eye on to see if it gives another pause day on it, see how it goes from there. So good stuff. Great finds there, Shirley. I really appreciate it. Mike, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's take a look at the SPY. Again, we just did a pretty comprehensive review of the SPX here, but generally we're still trending up, right? So we've got higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. We just had to see we've put higher highs in here, but generally our wave count is bullish, right? We finished our zigzag last week. We talked about zigzags last night with Paul here on the Elliott Wave Show, and right, generally it looks okay, but we're kind of expecting a wave C pullback going into tomorrow, but it might not be as big as we originally thought. So we're going to kind of go from there. So good stuff. Yeah, let's take a look at silver. So silver not doing it so good, right? We've been talking about this in the bubble report. It's been channeling down for the last couple days, and every time it hits the top of this channel, it works its way down, right? So we pointed this out to our bubble report subscribers this morning that, hey, just watch out for the top of this channel. And of course, we got this nice down move here today, and ended up being an overall down day here today too. So just see how it holds. If it could break out above there, get over the ADMA, it might start getting strong again. So good stuff there. Mike, what's going on? Let's take a look. So yeah, good evening. Hope you're doing great. Happy Monday. Yeah, Monday. It definitely is. I definitely had a case of the Mondays today, right? So Boeing, how's this thing doing? So we've got a lot of stuff going on here with Boeing, but really the most important one is this geometric line, right? So we just want to see if it continues to hold there. It's still above it, right? So we want to see if it tests. We could be working on kind of this sideways head and shoulders, but we're kind of in the middle of a shoulder right now. So let's see how that goes. It could be a 1-2 type move. We saw a lot of these yesterday, but a lot of them didn't play out today. We're over the 8 AMA, and it's kind of a choppy day today. So I don't know. I'm just kind of looking to see if it's going to form a shoulder right there on that geometric line and see how that goes. So that's kind of what I'm tracking there. So good stuff, Mario. What's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, so the double Doji sandwich. Yeah, I love it. So the double Doji sandwich is basically like a double Whopper, like a double cheeseburger. So BA is kind of like a double Doji right here. So the idea with the Doji sandwich, right, is you get a nice strong candle, right, and you get like a Doji in between, and then it gives you break over that Doji high, right, with good volume, and you get a good intraday setup, and then it just makes that Doji sandwich. It's like a measured move up, right? So sometimes you get 2 in a row. So here we got this one right here. We got kind of 2 Dojis in a row right here. So we can see if Boeing makes a double Doji sandwich on that one, right? So that's possible here. But if you look back here and go to Target, if you go to Target from the other day, this gave a triple Doji sandwich, a triple pause day right here. big candle, right, with increasing volume. 3 small candles right here. You got the like the Hardee's triple burger, right? So the triple doji sandwich, and then boom, then you got this measured move, and then a nice gap up and continuation right there, right? So we look for those, right? When you see big candles and you see a nice doji after that candle or a nice little spinning top, right? We look for those as potential doji sandwich moves. So that's the idea right there. And then is your 430, 400 calls for SPY going to print this week? This week, it's a short week this week, so it's really tough to say. I don't know. I mean, obviously nobody knows, but we'll keep an eye on it right here. I mean, it's hanging in there. We're over the 80 MA, right? So that's good. Our wave count is expecting a little bit of a pullback right here, so I don't know how long it's going to be. It might be a couple days, right? So if this is this is kind of like our A here, right? So this is our A, right? Here's your B. Right, so that's kind of like 3, kind of count 3 here. You might get a wave C down right here, like kind of into this. So depending on how long it takes it to work its way down, if it happens, I'm not even saying it's going to happen, but this is kind of the current count that we're seeing. You kind of have this A, B, C type move, right? Then by the end of the week, it'd be really, really tougher to get to 400. So, but we'll see. I mean, it could continue to plow its way up. We've certainly seen it before, right? We start to get some big gap days, right? So like back here, right? Every day was just like gap, 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 gap. So I mean, something, it's possible. So, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So again, so bullish and bearish trade. What's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at MU. So MU, hanging in there. I don't really like the close below the 80 MA, but it's still holding the 50 day. So we've got that going on there. Let's take a look at ON. Yeah, these semis guys are just like really sketchy right now. Again, I still have that bearish wave count on Nvidia. AMD is gonna blah below the trend line. ON is in the middle of a triangle right here. It's an inside day in the middle of the triangle. So let's see which way it breaks out on that one. Apple, of course, is in a downtrend, right? We're still in our downtrend right here. We're below our macro trend line and we're below the bump line right here too. We're having trouble getting above it. It's choppy day today at the 80 MA. It needs some strength, right, to get going. And then ACB. A couple of the pot names I was a little bit bearish on going into today. Obviously, here upper shadow off the 80 MA looks kind of blah. So see how that goes there on this one going into tomorrow. Could be pretty interesting. So good stuff. Sayu, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's look at KMPH. So KMPH here, again, really, really choppy, grindy range right now. So just kind of keep an eye on this triangle and see if you can get any volume breakouts out of here one way or the other, right? And see if it shows any relative strength. Very, very low volume name, so a little bit of caution with that one. MDB, this is what we haven't looked at in a while, but yeah, some big volume has come in here since earnings, and it is just kind of clonking its way down right here under the 80 MA. So you got these three black crows type situation below the 80 MA. So let's see if it gets any more downside off of that here. You had the same kind of moves right here with bigger candles. So see how it holds. We're under the 200-day moving average. You have some old support kind of in this area right here. So you got some congestion back here that it might want to test first, and then it might give you a little bit of a relief off of that here. We're pretty close to that. So see how that holds. It could be interesting there on MDB. And then Boeing, of course, we just talked about possibly working on that sideways shoulder pattern. So we've got that going on too. Krishna, what's going on? Yeah, Boeing, again, same thing. Again, we got the geometric line that we're holding right now. We got a potential doji on that one, but it looks like it's working on a shoulder. So there's a little bit of caution off of that there. ATVI, decent close today. This is a nice push right here. It's just under the 50-day moving average with an upper shadow, so just kind of keep an eye on it. I think they lost their CFO, or their CFO retired or something like that, or they swapped out. So commercial head Zerza to succeed CFO Durkin. So we got somebody else is going to become the CFO. Didn't they just get their CFO from Netflix not too long ago? Was that these guys or was that EA? Anyway, but interesting push right here. So let's see if we can get over the 50-day moving average, get some volume. Gave a little bit of spike after hours, but it's kind of back down after that. So a little tricky name right here. This is typically one I don't trade, but I just see if we can get any strength over the 50-day on that one. And then GDRX, again, look at this, guys. GDRX, this thing's epic. Look where it is. Like if you're talking about like a level, right? So nice push up here over Thursday and Friday. Back to the 80 MA right here. Let's see if it can hold, right? Maybe gives a higher low and then kind of bounces off of that and gets going out of this level right here. Very, very interesting area of potential support there. So that could be interesting. Sahi, yeah, OCG, let's take a look. Organoculture, yeah, so kind of interesting move right here. Big push here recently, right? You kind of have this 1, 2, 3, I don't know if it's really a truncated 5, but really what I would do on this one is just see if you can get out of this range right here. So you got big level up here, levels right there. There's a geometric line here, right? See if you can get out of any of this stuff, one way or the other. Right now we're just kind of in the middle of the range right now. Right? So good stuff. Ciao, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's take a look at a couple of these ideas. We got Fubo. So Fubo, again, guys, was on our bearish radar today. It actually still ended up closing down, right? So it was a good idea from yesterday, and it is actually here below the its fresh 200-day moving average. So it could be a potential doji sandwich to the downside. Let's see if it gets any more action there. CCIV has been a hot name recently, right? So not too long ago it was pretty hot. Now we're just kind of chopping around these levels right here. I mean, it's got, it needs like some news, right? So it needs to like really actually like do something, right? So it's a SPAC, right? So they actually have to like produce something, right, or actually unspec, right? So we'll see how that goes there, and then if it could kind of work its way up, and then Tilray, let's see how that goes. So Tilray again, another pot name here below the ADMA, so a little bit of caution there. Neo, had some strength today, and then just couldn't get going. So I mean, we're still kind of a doji here below the ADMA on that one too, so a little bit of caution there. The Idex. Let's see, Idex again, same stuff right here too, below the ADMA here. Weemy. Again, wow, really working its way back down to these old levels right here. See how it holds. Maybe it'll chop around here for like a week or so and then try to get out of that range. So keep an eye on that one. OCGN. Ocugen here below the 50-day moving average. Again, volume's really low on this one, so I would just kind of take some care with it. And then last one there, Viac. Yeah, so Viac, guys, we had some unusual call activity in the group here today. It came through about $3 million worth of call activity. It's this week's. I mean, they're trying. Maybe they think this thing is going to work its way up right here. I mean, it's not such a bad area. I mean, I like it off the 200-day moving average. It may come back and retest it. It's just the price action day was just so blah, right? So it's like they didn't really want to rally it up just yet. So this one may actually chop for a while. So we'll see where it goes from there. So just a little bit of caution. Sometimes they try to, kind of lure in, some folks think it's going to give a quick bounce, and if it doesn't, you get really chopped up, and then it goes, right? So we get that going on there too. So Sahi, yeah, PLTR. This one, same thing, just has been just grinding under the ADMA. I think eventually this one will get going. I guess it just depends on how long we can wait for it, right? So good stuff there. Again, generally overall good company. I know Arc Innovation's been buying shares of this one recently, so let's see if it can hold up here and get going again here too. CS Ready, what's going on? Yeah, whoa, look at this AYX. Wow, this thing, I haven't looked at this one in so long. This is an example of like Viac. Right, so see how big it kind of like gapped down here off of the last earnings, and it chopped around for a long time. It looked like it was going to break out, and it didn't. You got one day off of that, and then it gapped up here, and then it kind of worked its way back down here. Then it tried to work its way up again, and now look at it. It's still continuing to work its way down. This is awful. This is just a terrible chart. At this point now, I would just kind of wait and see if you can get above the all the key moving averages and see if we can get some strength here, right? I mean, it's got like a lot of issues on it right now. It's just kind of a grinder down too. So eventually, it might make a move, but let's see if maybe we got to wait till earnings. Maybe we'll get some good earnings coming through. I mean, last earnings is actually not too bad, but it ended up going down anyway. I guess bad guidance or whatever the case was there. So good stuff. Stan, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look. So you got X marks the spot again. These names have been really strong recently. So big push here today, although it did leave with an upper shadow at the end of the day. So that was kind of annoying. CLF Cuban Cliffs. Yeah, this had a good candle on Friday, and it's kind of pulled back here with the shooting star candle. So that's a little bit blah. And then Nike, Schnikes. Wow, that gave a big down move the other day. From earnings, just kind of blah, and now it's kind of grinding its way back up to the ADMA. So see if we can get back above there too. So Emily Clover, yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for tuning in. Suyag, what's going on? Is Tesla going to do the backflip? So Tesla is in a downtrend still. It did get through the bump line, and it's formed a bump line trend box, right? So we need to see some increased volume above this trend box, and then to see if we can get up and possibly retest the macro downward trend line. But so far, Tesla is in a downtrend overall. So good stuff there. And then, yeah, I had some semi-news stocks today. Like, I think they were talking about they sold a bunch, too, to, like, Pepsi yesterday. It was announced. So we'll see. We'll see if we get some strength. But right now, it's got some work to do. But it still gives some good intraday setups. So it still gives some moves. So that's good. That's a good thing about Tesla. And it gave us a good short opportunity at the open today as well. Michael, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. HGen. Let's take a look. Let's see what we got. Yeah, look at that candle today. Crazy one. That's a wild one there today. You guys are these biotech names. I love it. So good find there. Wells Fargo, nice short today. Good. Up to 1.618 in the gap test. Nice. I love it. Good stuff there. Got a little shark formation going on. Beautiful. Very nice. And good find there coming in today. Nice doji reversal from yesterday. So good stuff there. And then CS, let's take a look. Credit Suisse. Yeah, they got these guns got crushed on that $20 billion margin call. Credit Suisse got crushed. Morgan Stanley got crushed. Goldman was involved. Right, just nasty. Oh, we'll absorb that. Nomura, too, the biggest investment bank in Japan, too. They got hit, too. Inside day on Viac kind of is what it is. We'll see how it goes over there in that range. And then MViz, pulling back there. A little bit of increased volume here below the cloud and below the ADMA. Inside day down. Oh, just be careful with that one, right? So good stuff there. Marcel, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at PLTR again. Yeah, again, this one's just been kind of grinding here below the ADMA. CCIV. CCIB below the 80. We looked at this one here as potential holding that area right there. F-cell. These ones started to perk up here today, like your Blink and your F-cell, and then they kind of pull back, right? Kind of some nasty pullbacks there at the end of the day. So again, just generally overall still pretty weak and still below the 80 man on this one. And then your plug. Plug similar, right? So nasty pullback there too. Again, the weekly charts is looking so blah, right? So we got that going on there too. So good. Yeah, Sahi, OCG. I think we looked at this one a little bit earlier, and we looked at PLTR. So let's take a look at Baidu now. Let's see. So Baidu, again, that had a good bounce here on Friday. There was some good call activity on it. I think Kathy actually bought some of it too, but this thing might actually be getting ready to curl back down. And I think there's an offering out there on it too, or somebody's trying to do a block offer on it. So keep an eye on that there too. So Kathy, Auntie Kathy sold Apple and PayPal and Netflix. Interesting. So yeah, we'll wait to see how many shares, but good stuff. Yeah, I mean, maybe she's starting to see the downtrends that we're posting here. So good stuff there. So Marcial, yes, we got NNDM. Let's take a look. NNDM is kind of in the key bounce zone right here, so let's see if we can get over that 8 EMA with some strength and get going on that one. And then skills to pay the bills. Let's take a look here. So skills right at the 200-day moving average with an inside day. So let's see how that holds there too. And then SWI, let's take a look. Yeah, solar winds. Yeah, same type of stuff right there. Again, this is getting really tight right here. Again, it's got a nice triangle, a couple nice little like embedded triangles here. You can see this, right? I mean, it just needs to show some strength here. I'm just kind of have this going on, right? So just kind of see how that holds here going into the next. See if we can break out of here with some volume, or if it's just going to continue to chop. Okay. So good stuff. Yes, I hear. My pleasure. Read what's going on. Yeah, Bitcoin. Let's take a look. Let's see how it's going. Did we get to all-time highs yet? Close. We're at 58,000, but decent day today, Reed. I love it. So look at the increased volume right here, or yesterday, sorry, in yesterday's session. Nice push right here, guys. This is awesome, right? So we tagged back above. It's kind of fresh, sort of downward bump line right here, downward trend line, geometric line. And so now let's see if we can get above and get to all-time highs in here and get us all just over one big trend line. So one big happy trend line. So that'd be great. So Bitcoin's still hanging in there. I love it. So good stuff. And hello, Andrew, what's going on? Let's take a look. Super shorted on CLVS. Let's take a look. CLVS. Yeah, so Clovis, a big down move right here. Again, it's hanging in there, right? So, I mean, you got a little bit of a move. It could be working on a bit of a bear flag right here. You got your 200-day moving average below it. So, but if it could push below here with some increased volume, it could be interesting, right? So, it could be a leading diagonal too. You kind of have that 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. So just kind of keep that on the radar there. Michael, yeah, Roku. Yeah, this had a pretty steep decline, really, if you think about it, since its highs. If we go here, let me go to this chart here. Look at that. I mean, it's really moved down since February pretty decently, right? I mean, it's kind of amazing. This thing just was going up forever, but it's down 200 points from its highs, right? That's pretty incredible, really. So it looks like it might have some more, right? You guys, I think it may want to test this geometric line. We'll see. But I do have a nice wave count right here. This 1, 2, 3, 4, and this wave 5 could finish up nicely here at the geometric line. Then we'll see if we bounce off of that. So that'd be pretty cool there too. So Marcial, so you heard ARCX has got some unusual holdings. It sure does. Yeah, it's got like Netflix in it, right? Like the U.S. dollar is in it, right? Stuff like that. I mean, they didn't really give any explanations of why they're in it, but yeah, there's some weird ones in there too. So BFT, Sahi, let's take a look. So BFT again, just kind of hanging in. It looks like a double inside day. So let's take a look here. Yep, double inside day on this. So see how it holds these levels on the double inside day. So good stuff there. So see how Bear is praying for another ship in the Suez Canal. So yeah, so we'll see how that goes right there. Andrew, yourself awesome. Really appreciate it. Thanks so much. I appreciate your support. So Marcial, so you're learning the Ichimoku system. Great. Any way to use it intraday, or is it better on larger term time frames? We use it on all time frames. It's really, really helpful. So I love it on the 15 and the 5 intraday. You can use it on the 1 minute time frame because all it is, right, is it just uses the clouds, just is basically just projecting prior moving averages forward, and it just reminds you that there was some strength in this area when it comes back to it, right? So and I think algos like it too. So good stuff there as well. So good stuff. And Kunal, so what do we got? FT. Let's take a look. So FT. Yeah, a couple upper shadows up here off of the 80 MA. It's up a little bit after hours, but just kind of see how it holds. It's got that nasty upper shadow here and that gap below, so a little bit of caution on that one here too. So good stuff. All right, guys. Well, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in this evening. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this series on today's favorite Elliott wave count. Maybe learned a little bit of something there off of the Facebook count, right? So the wave 3 one I thought was really important because it wasn't the shortest wave. So really, really cool stuff there. It ended up being a great count and a good setup intraday today. And our members, Reed, we gave you a shout out earlier. Good point out intraday on Facebook today too with the increased volume of the 15 orb high. So really, really nice stuff there. So good stuff, guys. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. We'll see everybody bright and early tomorrow. If you're a Bubble Report member, we'll see you in the Bubble Report. If you're a Discord member, we'll see you in the Discord. And even if you're not in the group, be sure to at least hit the like button here and subscribe on YouTube, and so you can join us here for our Good Morning Market Prep video, and also on Twitter for our market prep there. So yeah, hit the like and smash button and subscribe. I love it. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it, guys. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening, and we'll see you guys in the morning. Until then, stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game.